Hi. As you get more advanced in your language learning, you really need to know the difference between an abstract noun and a concrete noun. And while we are building nouns, it's a good idea to learn suffixes or word endings and also pronunciation, because quite a few of these words have more than one syllable. So you need to know where to stress in the word. So what is an abstract noun? Well, it's the opposite of a concrete noun because you cannot see it with your eyes. You cannot hear it with your ears. You cannot touch it with your hands or fingers. You cannot smell it with your nose. And you cannot taste it with your tongue. Those are concrete nouns. Abstract nouns are more difficult to define. Here is a photo I took while I was on holiday, not far from where I live. What can you see, hear, smell? I'm sure you can see the sand and the blue sky. But just imagine for a moment you are standing or walking along this beach with me. You could hear the waves crashing onto the shore. By the way, this is the Pacific Ocean here. You could probably smell the salt in the air. You can see footprints, all concrete nouns. For me, in this moment, the abstract noun that best describes this beach is isolation. Isolation. Did you feel where the stress came in that word? It came here. Isolation. I was walking along the beach one day, further north from that other picture. This is near where my parents live. And I saw two dolphins playing in the water. Again, some concrete nouns you would use for this picture are the ocean, the jetty is here, of course the clouds and the dolphin. You could probably hear these people talking, but I was amazed. I have walked on this beach so many times. But this was the first time that I saw dolphins, so I felt amazement. This is an abstract noun. This photo was taken on the largest sand island in the world. It's called Fraser Island. What can you see? A shipwreck. Why is the shipwreck, this orangey, reddy, brown colour? It is rust. You can feel on your fingers and on your skin the sand blowing in your face. So sand, rust, shipwreck, all concrete nouns. But looking at the shipwreck, other nouns came into my mind, like history, loneliness, destruction, and these are abstract nouns. Listen for the stress. Remember, we're learning pronunciation at the same time. History, loneliness, destruction. History, loneliness, destruction. Did you hear? Destruction, the stress was on the second syllable. Now, this was on my most recent holiday. I didn't go to the beach, I went to the mountains, and it's a beautiful place. Not many people around, but loads and loads of kangaroos and wallabies. They're everywhere. And most of the kangaroos have had babies recently. So you can see the baby, which we call a joey, in the mother's pouch. So what can we see? We can see bright green grass. We can see a mother wallaby. To be specific, it's not a kangaroo, it's a smaller species called a wallaby. and the baby Joey is in the pouch. All of these are concrete nouns. So what abstract words come to mind when you look at this picture? Maybe love, care, affection. I thought it was adorable how the mother was scratching the baby's face. Gently, of course. This word, affection, has 3 syllables. Affection. Where was the stress? Affection, in the middle, the 2nd syllable. I was really happy with this photo. This is in a beautiful garden in the city that I live in. What can you see? What can you smell? You can see and smell a pink rose. You can see here glossy green leaves and of course a clear blue sky. So leaves, rose, sky, all concrete nouns. I think the most appropriate abstract noun would be beauty. All right, delicious cake. This was really good cake that I made for a friend of mine. It is called a sponge cake, and I'm sure you can see and taste the strawberries, the blueberries, and the cream. It was for my friend. So an abstract noun that comes into mind is friendship. Friendship. So, forming abstract nouns means you have to use a variety of suffixes. You can see 7 of them here. There are more, but these are the main ones. Have a look at some of these words and notice the pronunciation. Don't think about the meaning now, just focus on your skill in stressing the correct syllable. Follow me. Happiness, kindness, isolation, frustration, amazement, achievement, childhood, adulthood, friendship, partnership, boredom, wisdom, curiosity, generosity. So I've made all the stressed syllables in bold. And did you notice that ation and osity, the stress is in the middle of the word? So try to remember that as a little helpful hint. Forming the words. How can we change from an adjective into an abstract noun? Here we go. After a Y, happy ends in Y. You need to remove the Y, add an I, happiness. Another one which I haven't written here is lovely. Lovely ends with a Y. Remove the Y, loveliness, L-I-ness. And there are some more there. Notice with this word aware, we keep the E. The next one. What happens from the adjective to the noun? The adjectives all end in O-U-S, but the noun has no U. The U must be removed. Curious, curiosity. Generous, generosity. Luminous, luminosity. Wise, wisdom. Free, freedom. Those are all adjectives to nouns. Now, these are not adjectives, however. These words here are verbs. What happens to the E? There is an E at the end of each word. There's no E in the nouns. That's a good rule to remember. What do you notice about these ones? There's an E, and over here, the E must remain. So what rule can you form? To form an abstract noun with M-E-N-T, you need to keep the E. I'm sure you can remember. We did adjective to noun, verb to noun. How about a concrete noun to an abstract noun? Adult, adulthood. Child, childhood. Friend, friendship. Relation, relationship. Partner, partnership. And here's an extra one for DOM. King becomes kingdom. Sometimes the pattern or the rule just does not work. You need a new word. Like afraid as an adjective, the noun is fear. Love is exactly the same word. Succeed as a verb becomes success. So unfortunately in English there are many exceptions and you just have to learn them. And I also want to remind you now of all the sense words, the seeing, hearing, smelling. Have a look at the abstract nouns: sight, hearing, taste, touch, smell. So that's a good set of words to learn. Okay, pay attention to the stress now. Remember, we're learning pronunciation at the same time. What is this woman feeling? Frustration. Frustration. What about this person who is Buddhist? Wisdom. Wisdom. Oh no, she dropped her ice cream. How do you think this child is feeling, or what is she feeling? Disappointment. Disappointment. What is oozing out of this person's mind? It's creativity. Creativity. Inspiration. Imagination. Could you hear the stress on the A? Ation. Imagination. Achievement. Achievement. What's the abstract noun for this stage of life? Very cute baby, especially because it's asleep. Infancy or babyhood. Then the next stage of life is childhood. What's the next stage? Do you know? The next stage is called adolescence. Now, you notice I've just put a couple extra suffixes here, cy and ence. These are important words to learn. And finally, adulthood. So, please don't forget, you need to learn the different word forms, the adjective to the noun, the verb to the noun, and the concrete noun changed to an abstract noun. You need to learn the most common suffixes, and here they all are again. But remember, these are not the only ones, as I showed you in the last slide. And you must know the difference between a concrete noun that you can see and hear and smell and taste and touch, and an abstract noun which is much harder to define. I hope you feel more confident with abstract nouns now. And of course, I can't wait to see you again next time.